Grant funds, system costs not to exceed $595,663 plus sale taxes. I just want for the record, it's not that we're tapping into adult ed or something else. This is an actual grant, correct?
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Okay, so I just want to add to that really quickly. I think the community is concerned that we're pretty much taking away CTE funding from other existing programs to establish a new CTE pathway.
Career Technical Education Grant is an umbrella term that refers to all different types of grant funding that we have under CTE. And I know Dr. Anderson could actually tell you the exact ones that are on there, but for this particular one, we do have a workforce training grant, which goal of the workforce training grant is to create pathways. And so that's something that even the federal government right now is consistently interested in providing those type of grants because they create a pathway from elementary, middle, high school, and eventually into college. And so that's what strong workforce grants are for. And so the term here, CTE, is just an umbrella grant term that refers to different types of funding. But for this particular, it would be specifically workforce grant funding that would make up the majority of those costs. This particular grant with aviation was explicitly written for this purpose. And so when the state of California, the California Department of Education puts out the request for applications for grant funding, we made an application specifically for grant funding for this purpose. And so the application explicitly details all the information regarding the aviation pathway and being able to develop a pathway.
So there's several grants that fall under CTE, as Dr. Jimenez so eloquently explained. We do have a planning grant for developing curriculum for $35,000 that is to be expended by June 30th. If we meet the requirements, which is to produce a two-year course sequence, then we are guaranteed $100,000 the following year to develop then the four-year course sequence. If we complete that with the state, then we will receive a $75,000 grant that following year. So that's for curriculum development. For the Golden State Pathways Grant, we wrote and received $114,945 for year one. So that's this year to be spent by June 30th. That is to develop the program. If we meet the requirements of Golden State Pathways, we are eligible for $500,000 over the next 3 years to do that. Now the state has, this is the first time they've ever offered Golden State
I'm sorry,
Pathways.
$500,000 a year or divided within 3 years?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
The second, thank you, the latter. Thanks for clarifying. It's not, the state will determine how much money they'll give us. It's not a guaranteed $500,000, depending on how many districts qualify. And then in the K-12 strong workforce, now this one is broad, and every year we apply. We've had different ones for, we built the manufacturing program at La Puente High School. We did 2 different grants recently specific to arts programs. The one for STEM, of that grant, we've received $524,476. Keep your eyes open for March 13th for you to accept that money. But teaser for the next board meeting. But of that grant, we wrote in the budget $301,000 to be spent on aviation.